Right, let's give you an update on the things that haven't been happening in relation to the site at the rear of Blades Court in Lochside. Where to begin? Right, as of the 13th of December, when Bam Nuttall decided to close the pathway going across to the club, I think that was my last video that I stated about. Or thereabouts. I phoned the coppers in relation to this and asked them if they would send a wildlife officer out because of the area being a conservation area. And that was on the 13th of December 2024. Now, I principally asked the 101 operator clearly and precisely that it would have to be a wildlife officer who dealt with this. Hold on a wee minute. There we go. So she's like, yeah, we'll get it sorted. Then nothing. So I phoned them back on the 20th of December 2024 and asked them if anyone had attended or they'd done anything about it. The operator clearly stated that there was an officer present, actually attended. And I asked her if it was a wildlife officer who attended on the 20th. And they're like, no, it was a response unit officer. And the response unit officer is one of the local community officers who is not legally trained to gather evidence in relation to a conservation crime. That was on the 20th. So, just to be a real pain in the arse, I phoned back again on the 28th and asked her, is the officer on duty or whatever? And she's like, yeah, she's on duty, say Saturday or whatever it was. I'm like, right. I says, could you get her to contact me, please, and give me the outcome of her investigation? I'll do you one better than that, Mr. Kelly. I'll email the senior sergeant on duty, along with the officer, the community officer, and get him to pressurise her into responding to you. I'm like, no bother, happy days. And as it sits, of the 2nd of the 1st, 2025, I've heard hee-haw. This is the self-same officer that I wrote to away back in June, July of 2024 and highlighted issues that she'd already stated in her email to me. That everything was hunky-dory, there was nothing wrong, everything was all according to the book and so forth and all that shite. So, I can only make the conclusion that this WPC, who is based in Q Division, is a fucking numpty. Right? And she has no idea. Well, one, she has no idea of conservation crime. Two, she has no idea of wildlife crime in any relation, shape or form. As a matter of fact, one of my videos actually highlighted this, because it was the same time that I'd received an email from Nature Scotland, from the so-called water vole expert. I'll not name her, she'll get all upset, you know. She'll start crying into her fucking muesli or something. And this officer basically spewed out the same shite that the Nature Scotland had spewed out. So I sent her one back and asked all these questions about bats and all the rest of it, and studies, and haven't heard a thing. Not a fucking dicky bird. So, as it sits at the moment, at the rear of Bladescourt and Lochside, we have a track that's been dug out, decimating any potential wildlife that actually live in that particular piece of ground. They've subsequently dug up the pathway going across that allowed the pedestrians to go from Lochside to the club. They've closed all that off, and they've done a great big fucking hole in the place, right? For whatever reason, it's entirely up to them. I don't know. I can only make the assumption that they're going to tap into the existing burn that runs down the side there for some reason or other. But this, where they've actually went in, is a bat habitat area. And Nature Scotland have went, yeah, no bother. Police Scotland, we don't care, we don't give a shite. I'm not going to answer any questions asked by Mr. Kelly. Because I'm a WPC, I'm better than him, I know more and all the rest of it. No, you don't, you're a fucking dafty. And for the senior sergeant who received the email, who blanked me, you want your collar felt as well, big man. Dereliction of duty. I pay your wages, you and your WPC. So, that's how it sits at the moment, people. Still waiting for police standards to get back to me. They're kicking it down the can because they'll not be wanting to say anything or do anything that might compromise their position. But the thing that I found really strange is, on the 13th of December last year, 2024, when I phoned up and made an official complaint to the police, 101, about the conservation crime that were actually being perpetrated at that time and date, I purposely told them and asked them to send a wildlife liaison officer, a wildlife crime liaison officer. That was not adhered to. They sent some local copper. So, police, national wildlife crime, fucking disgrace. And I know why they never sent it. Or they never sent that particular officer. Because that particular detective sergeant who runs that particular department, I've got an official complaint in against him about dereliction of duty and so forth and such like. And that's why they never sent a wildlife officer. They sent some nobody to go and look and say, everything's okay, no bother, we're all hunky-dory. Shite. So this is just mere bullets for me to fire at police standards, if and when they get round to me. But it's not just police standards that I'm going to fire bullets at. It's the divisional commander of Q Division. It's the Chief Constable of Police Scotland. And that's the police department. This is moving over to other parties, ministers in government. Heard nothing. The Justice Minister, nothing. Hee-haw about the action of the officers that they employ. The other ministers that I spoke to, nothing. Hee-haw, blanket ban, nobody wants to touch us. Wonder why. That was 2 Conservative MPs that I gave all the relevant details to. 1 other Labour MP that I gave the information to. alongside my local MSP, who has done fuck all. I think I've reiterated this in one of my other videos. Oh well, if you want to complain about the council, then you need to formally make a complaint to the council about the council, and we all know where that goes. It goes fucking in the bin, realistically. We've still got the issue with the rats. Council, no, it's near that's near you. Pish. So this is just a wee 2025 update of what's not happening by the powers that be. Police Scotland, members of the Scottish Parliament, Nature Scotland, they've washed their hands here. Oh no, you've been abusive to one of our colleagues. Fuck off. So that's just a wee update on the general gist of 2025. So I really hope you've had a really good new year and look forward to even more of this shit coming forward in the weeks and months to come, because I'm no geeing up, and I'm going to make sure that every police officer involved in this, bar two, who done their due diligence, who done the proper investigation, are going to be fucking screwed to the wall. In every way, shape and form. And the fact that I've put it in the hands of a national tabloid newspaper now, that I'm just waiting for everything to come together before I move forward with it and put it into the public domain. So once it's in the public domain, it'll be the names of the officers, the badge officers, hold on, I'll restart that. It will be all the officers who have derelicted their duty. It will be the 101 operators who decided not to answer any 999 calls. It will be the senior detective sergeant of the National Wildlife Crime Unit. It will also mention the MSPs who have done fuck all, along with all the documentation that I've received from and to Nature Scotland last year and probably into this year going forward. So that's just a wee update. Hope you had a fantastic new year. So on that cheery note, have a nice day.